It's a potentially fatal consequence of Britain's binge drinking culture that has so far gone largely unrecognised. Young people, in some cases, consuming up to 5 litres of alcohol every day, ending up in hospital with liver failure. Alcohol-related cirrhosis of the liver amongst young people has doubled in the last 10 years alone. But are teenagers today aware of the long-term effects of alcohol abuse? This exclusive report from Kate Taunton contains some images you will find very distressing.
Last year, almost 5,000 under 18-year-olds were admitted to hospital after excessive drinking.
This is all the medication that I have to take since I come out of hospital.
Scott is 19 and from Bath.
I have to take 8 a day as well.
4 weeks ago, he was hospitalised with stomach pains and found out that he had liver damage.
I've heard of liver failures and all that before, and kidneys problems, but I just thought I'd be a lucky person that wouldn't happen to. It scared the hell out of me. I was hospitalised for about a week.
Given that people are drinking younger and younger, we're almost certainly facing an epidemic of serious liver disease in the 20 to 30-year-old age group.
I needed it to get to sleep, I needed it to talk, I needed it to stop feeling ill, I needed drink to be myself. Every day I was drinking at least 6 litres of Frosty Jack's cider, and it was only £3.10 a bottle at the time. And it was 7.5% as well.
We all told him that it would kill him in the end, but his attitude was everybody else can drink that amount. He thought he could.
While Scott was in hospital, the doctor told him that if he carried on drinking, he wouldn't live to the age of 21.
That put the frighteners on him. And all he could do was say, I don't want to die. I want to live past 21.
I've been sober for about 3 odd weeks now, and I've got a girlfriend and that now, and I find it much easier to talk to her as well now, because I'm just starting to build my confidence up from not drinking and that, because that was the only time I used to talk to people was when I was drunk.
Before we used to sit by ourselves and I'd just sit there and he'd be like, I'd be like talking to me, he's like, yeah, no, yeah, okay, no. Now he like actually chats to me properly.
Yeah, have a proper conversation and that.
Yeah.
What was that?
So what would you do now if you saw him drinking again?
Slap him.
Yeah. See you later, love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Not too much to drink.
All right.
Katie is 18 and lives with her family in Pembrokeshire, Wales.
Oh, yeah, right. I first started drinking when I was 12 because I looked older than all my friends. And every Friday and Saturday, they sort of pressurised me into getting alcohol from the garage. We'd come in here and sit in here, like under the platform or on the swings or just behind the trees when it was dark. And we'd sit down and just drink. I drink every weekend, Friday and Saturday night, and I drink a lot on Friday and Saturday night. Every time I buy a normal drink, I'd buy like shots, like double vodka, lime and lemonade, or double 7 Comfort and lemonade, or double Malibu and lemonade, or whatever. And then I'd drink them on the head, have another drink, get a few more shots, go to the next pub, and do the same in each pub. But I've never bought a single in my life for me, ever.
What are you planning to do now?
Get even drunkerer. Even drunkerer. I drink because it makes me feel good. I'm more confident and you can get away with looking like a fool or looking like... and people won't judge you when you're drunk.
After drinking heavily for 2 years, Katie has started to think about the impact on her body.
I've put on so much weight due to the drinking, like binge drinking and like popping down the pub of an evening and not realising what you're drinking. And then like finding out from people that every 1 unit is 100 calories. So if you drink 100 calories in a weekend, it's 10,000 extra calories that you don't even feel like it's a calorie. It's just a drink. I'm like, it's coming close to the summer and I don't want to be frumpy in the summer. So I decided to cut down on everything except the fags, because I can't give up the fags. And then not drink as often, if I can.
This is a 26-bedded liver ward. The majority of people have alcoholic liver disease, and it covers the whole age spectrum from early 20s through to people in the 80s and 90s. Hi, Stacey. How are you today?
Poorly.
In what way do you feel poorly? Stacey is a young girl who has been drinking heavily for some time and is now showing signs of liver failure.
My belly hurts. I struggle a bit on my feet. I've been very drowsy, and I've not been eating very well either.
Stacey started drinking at the age of 17. Since then, her family have tried many times to help her stop.
She's been drinking about 5 litres of cheap wine per day, although she has tried to cut it down in the last few weeks before she came in and was managing to survive on 1 litre of wine per day.
In the past 18 months, Stacey has been hospitalised 6 times due to her drinking.
Her prognosis still has to be guarded, because if she goes out and drinks again, she'll almost certainly die.
What day is it tomorrow?
Saturday.
Is it your birthday tomorrow?
Yeah,
How old are you going to be?
24.
Stacey discharged herself from hospital and started drinking again. She was readmitted several times, but a month later she died in hospital from liver disease.
Kate Taunton reporting Stacey died some 3 weeks ago. Joining us now is Professor Roger Williams, a liver specialist and director of the Institute of Hepatology at University College London. It is surely new on this scale to have young women, young men drinking 5 litres a day.
Well, it's been going on for some years. I mean, it's increasing, it's come to public attention, particularly the last 2 or 3 years, but it's been building up over the last 10 years, almost certainly, particularly amongst the women. And women are very susceptible to liver damage from alcohol, particularly young women.
But when you're confronted with them in your consulting rooms at the hospital, what goes through your mind? Do you say, oh, an addictive personality, or do you say cheap booze?
Well, it's cheap booze to start with. I mean, there are a lot of reasons why people are drinking. It's become cool, it's become part of the culture, that everybody's, their friends are drinking, they have all these parties at weekends, and you see the pictures of them. It's all become part of the culture which they like. But
so, I mean, if I ask you as a medic, how do you confront this? It's not something you can deal with, is it?
well, you can, to some extent. First of all, you can go on talking about it to young people, and young people do listen. Not all of them, but some will listen to you. I've given lectures at schools where the forms of children afterwards have come up and asked lots of questions and have been very sensible. And so there are all sorts of things you can do, the doctor can do in terms of education.
Is there something structurally different between dealing with a young alcoholic and dealing as you used to with people like poor old George Best?
Yes, because the young people don't, like you just saw on the film, don't think they're going to get damaged by alcohol. They're very fit, they think their life's ahead of them, they don't think it's ever going to happen to them. And the trouble with alcohol, particularly in men, is that it used to be people drinking 20 or 30 years until midlife, and then they'd get cirrhosis, the beer drinkers and so on, heavy drinkers. But now, with the amount that they're drinking, it's of course all occurring at a much younger age, and young men are getting it in their 20s, and women can get it after 6 or 7 years because they drink so much. They drink enormous quantities with no food, binge drinking, harmful.
I translate you from being a consultant liver specialist to being a government minister. What would you do if you had the power?
Well, I've been attacking government for the last 2 or 3 years. First of all, I never extended the drinking hours when people can go in and drink all night long. I would have cut down on supermarkets like they're doing all around the world. Australia, other countries are clamping down, making it much harder for people to buy in supermarkets, making sure there's a minimum price in supermarkets.
But if the drinks industry were here, they would say, now, hang on a minute, you're punishing everybody because a few can't manage it.
Well, you do that with smoking, you do it with lots of things. You do it with driving. You make people wear seat belts and you put a level at which you can drink up to. So everybody is part of that, doing their best to help